You are looking at the largest diamond in the universe, a gigantic 3 billion carat beauty discovered by astronomers at the University of Aberdeen. And if that sounds impossibly huge, you are right. It would take almost 80,000 years for someone to walk across its surface at the speed of light. But this behemoth pales in comparison to the star you see here. If the sun were shrunk down to the size of a basketball, it would still be 106 times larger than this star. This tiny ball of burning plasma is actually one of the smallest known stars in the Milky Way. At just 0.09 for the radius of our sun, it is so small that if our solar system were shrunk down to the same scale, this star would fit inside the orbit of Mercury, the closest planet to the sun. But there is a lot more to this little star than meets the eye because, like all stars, it is massive. This baby weighs around 12 times more than Jupiter. That means it packs an extremely dense punch, weighing 21.7 tons per cubic centimeter. To put that in perspective, that's over 2,000 times denser than anything found here on Earth. When we think of the vast distances between stars, it can be hard to imagine any two of them ever colliding. But these two stars seen here are so close together they are literally locked in a death embrace, spiraling around each other in a slow-motion collision that has been building for millions of years. Eventually, they will merge into one giant star. And while the thought of getting that close to another star seems terrifying, some objects in space come much closer. These images were taken by the Chandra X-ray Observatory and show the remains of a massive star that exploded in a supernova. But there is something odd about it. Do you see that blue object in the middle? That's not a planet, but a newly born neutron star spinning at an incredible 655 revolutions per minute. If that sounds fast, it is, but it's also incredibly slow compared to the fastest neutron star ever discovered, which spins at a dizzying 19,000 times a minute. That's so fast it would complete one full rotation before a human could blink. Here's what makes that possible. A neutron star is basically a super-dense sphere of pure energy formed from the collapsed core of a massive star after it goes supernova. Astronomers have never witnessed the birth of a neutron star until now. In 2021, they captured the moment a star went supernova for the first time. The explosion ejected a vast cloud of dust and gas around 11,000 light-years away, and within just a couple of weeks, astronomers spotted a bright new star in the middle of it. They suspect that the star was born out of the debris of a smaller star that had been orbiting the original star and was destroyed when it went supernova. Now watch how this dead star is recycled back into a new one. Here's a black hole, 12,000 light-years away, that weighs over 10 times more than our sun. It has a giant cloud of glowing orange material swirling around it known as an accretion disk. As the material gets closer to the event horizon, or point of no return of the black hole, it heats up to thousands of degrees. It radiates such intense energy that it blasts powerful jets of plasma out into space at half the speed of light. These jets are powerful enough to clear a path through the galaxy, allowing new stars and planets to form in their wake. So while space may seem empty, it is actually teeming with activity. The sheer scale of the universe is really hard to wrap your mind around, but these pictures might help. The one on the left shows the approximate size of the observable universe. It is 94 billion light-years across, and that's just the size of the region that we can see. It contains billions of galaxies, each packed with hundreds of billions of stars. And yet even that immense space is dwarfed by the picture on the right. That's the size of the whole universe, including the parts we cannot see. This image might look like a colorful swirly marble, but it is actually a giant cloud of gas and dust, 7,000 light-years away. What we are seeing is just the edge of this enormous cloud. Its diameter is so large that if it were placed between the Sun and Neptune, the farthest planet in our solar system, it would extend halfway to Pluto. Space is also weirder than fiction because it is home to planets that are completely upside down. In 2017, NASA's Hubble Space Telescope captured this strange world which has a dark side just like ours. But its continents, mountains, and oceans are all flipped upside down. How does that happen? Usually when a planet forms, gravity pulls all of its mass towards the center. But if something big like a comet collides with a planet early in its life, it can knock it completely off balance. As a result, the planet ends up spinning on its side, but sometimes it gets even crazier. This image taken by the Voyager 2 probe in 1989 shows an enormous storm raging on Neptune. But it's not just beautiful, it's huge. If the Earth were placed in the middle of it, it would be completely obliterated by the colossal winds whipping around the planet at speeds of up to 1,500 miles per hour. And while that sounds crazy, it's nothing compared to the fastest wind ever recorded in the universe. That record goes to this red giant star, also known as a hypergyn, which is 6,000 light-years away. Astronomers noticed something strange happening near its north pole. There was an enormous jet of material blasting into space at a staggering 18,000 miles per hour. That's nearly twice the speed of sound and over 10 times faster than the fastest winds on Earth. Now, watch how space bends the laws of physics in ways we never imagined. This is a quasar. Quasars are some of the most energetic objects in the universe. They are supermassive black holes, millions or even billions of times heavier than our sun that lurk at the center of distant galaxies. They have such a powerful gravitational pull that they suck in anything that gets too close, including gas, dust, and even light. As material gets pulled into a quasar, it heats up to unimaginable temperatures, releasing tremendous amounts of energy. In fact, quasars are the brightest objects in the entire universe. They outshine entire galaxies and can be seen billions of light years away. Now watch how space defies the laws of gravity. This image shows a giant cloud of gas, almost 7,000 light-years away. Gravity is pulling it towards a massive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. But here's where things get weird. While most of the gas eventually gets pulled in, some of it doesn't. Instead, it forms a giant shock wave that blasts outwards at 6 million miles per hour. That's 3/4 the speed of light. For some reason, the shock wave keeps the black hole from consuming the rest of the gas. And sometimes the laws of gravity get turned completely upside down. This is a white hole, a mysterious object that is the opposite of a black hole. Just like a black hole, it has a powerful gravitational pull, but instead of sucking things in, it blasts them out at the speed of light. Scientists aren't sure if white holes even exist, but if they do, they could be hiding inside these gigantic bursts of energy called gamma-ray bursts. Gamma rays are the most energetic form of light in the universe, and when they burst, it means something big has happened. Either a massive star has just gone supernova, or two highly magnetized objects like neutron stars or black holes have collided. Either way, it takes a tremendous amount of energy, so much that it has been suggested that the only thing capable of producing one is a white hole. But perhaps the weirdest thing about space is that it defies our ability to comprehend it. We can only observe a tiny sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum. Everything we see is just what our eyes are able to detect. But 99% of the universe is invisible to us. It sits hidden from view by clouds of gas and dust or buried deep inside massive stars and black holes. All around us, there are things we cannot see, hear, or feel, but they are there. We have simply not evolved the technology to perceive it yet. Maybe one day soon we will. Scientists are already working on it. In 2022, they launched a telescope that can detect infrared light, helping us see through the clouds of gas that obscure so much of the universe. They are also developing new instruments to listen for radio waves coming from distant worlds. Maybe one day we will hear a radio signal from an alien civilization, or maybe we will see an entire universe hidden in plain sight. What do you think we will find when we explore more of the universe? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.